Hey, everybody, welcome to the Prodigal Podcast. Today, I have my good friend Sherry Bailey on the podcast. She's been a friend of mine for a few years now, and I've enjoyed seeing how God's been working in her life, and her testimony is beautiful. So I think that it'll be very encouraging to you as you listen today. Before we jump in, I just wanted to remind you that if you want to be on the podcast or if you want to share your feedback on how the podcast has made you feel and how God's been using it in your life. I'd love to hear from you. You can go in the description on whatever media channel you're using and follow those links there, and you can share your feedback with us. Um, Again, I would love to have you on the podcast, no matter how dramatic or whatever your testimony is. God can use it for good. So please hop on and join us. Also, I'd like to ask you to please like, subscribe, share the podcast with as many people as you can so that we can reach more people and share these testimonies with others. All right. Thank y'all. Have a good one. Hey, everybody. Today I've got my friend Sherry Bailey with me today. How are you doing, Sherry?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. It's good seeing you again.
It's good seeing you.
All right. Well, to start off, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'll be 52 this year. I help my mom out a lot. I work for Publix as a customer service teacher. Just try to live life to the fullest.
Yeah, sounds good. So I've heard your testimony before, and it's very powerful. So I've been wanting you to hop on the podcast for a while. So I'm very excited about this one. So
yeah,
why don't you tell me about kind of like what faith was like whenever you were a kid and around that time, and how, what your beliefs were and kind of your spiritual background.
So as a kid, we really like growing up. We didn't really go to church that much. Not until I was like a teenager, we went to a Southern Baptist church. I was baptized by a Southern Baptist. And it wasn't like it was a wanted kind of thing. It was more like of your parents telling you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of brought me around the first time that I actually my faith. The more I went, it's just like the more I wanted to be there.
Yeah.
So then after the fact, it was just like, you get around people that I guess peer pressure and you just totally blow off your faith completely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I blew off my faith. I quit going to church because I wasn't being forced to go anymore.
Yeah.
It was my choice to do whatever I wanted. So I just kind of quit at that point when I was about maybe 16 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that that's a common experience around
no
here,
doubt.
around here, especially if you're living in the Bible Belt and stuff. It's just kind of an expectation, to go to church and do the things, and teenage years come around, you kind of just go off. And I did the same thing. I just I remember whenever I was a kid and I went to church a lot, and then I got baptized after my sister got saved and baptized and everything. I kind of like looking back at it, I feel like I did it because like the other, my parents and other adults were really happy about it. So I kind of wanted to make them happy, I think that happens a lot.
Well, is even here, like back whenever I was growing up here, and like I was born and raised here, like I was born in Dawson Hospital, which is non-existent anymore. But then all the churches that we went to was in Albany, so it was just like there was not really that much of a choice. We had we didn't have Vine at the time. We didn't have we had Sherwood. It wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
But it was basically you had Baptist and Catholic and Methodist. You didn't have non-denominational at that time.
Right.
And you either fit in a group or you didn't fit in.
Yeah.
So it was like being forced to fit into a group was not my style. I didn't feel like I needed to be forced to fit in,
Mhm.
and I guess that's what pulled me away from everything.
Yeah. Did it feel kinda like clicky, kinda thing?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Because if and you know, God forgive me for believing the way that I did back then, but it was like, if you went to Sherwood, then you had money because that's
Yeah.
where the majority of
Like
everybody
wealthier
went was,
people.
yeah, Sherwood.
Mhm.
Um, and then if you went to a smaller church, it was just like, okay, you're just there. It wasn't the churches, in my opinion, back then, the churches wasn't as spirit led. If
Yeah.
if I mean, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was like there was kind of like I feel like this way too whenever I was a kid, like, the bigger churches, people had an idea that they were more correct, I guess,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
they were doing the right things, and then the smaller churches were
Yeah,
not so good. So
yeah,
yeah, I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of prejudice with like between churches. Not, maybe not so much now, but back then for sure there was definitely some prejudice between churches for like who made more money and who didn't.
yeah.
It was like the wealthier, like
Absolutely.
nice put together people, and then you have like the less put together people.
Yeah, because it was like, if you had in the church that we went to, if you had money, you sat on the right side. If
Mhm.
you didn't have money, you sat on the left side.
Mm.
And if you were somewhere in between, you sat up front. It was just like you said, it was clicky. It is
Yeah,
people coming together. And it should be people coming together. It shouldn't be separatist. I mean, if that's the correct word, I'm not sure
yeah,
if that's the
yeah.
correct word,
I get
but
what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just yeah.
they were supposed to be united together. And it shouldn't
Yes.
be rich versus poor, or
Yes.
white versus white, men, women, or whatever. There shouldn't be
Right.
like those distinctions. We're all
Right.
equal in Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And oh, there's another part that what kind of brought me out of was the fact that back then it was like women didn't speak at church.
Hmm.
And for me to come back into my faith so late in my life, um, whenever I was able to, like, at New Horizons with you, Bill, and Amanda, y'all let me lead. And I
Hmm.
was like, that was amazing to me because, like, when I was growing up, women didn't speak at church.
Yeah.
It was like, you don't get up and you don't speak in front of the church. No.
Mhm.
So I mean, that just helped me further myself into.
Yeah, that's still a hotly debated topic now too.
Yes,
Like
I know.
the Southern Baptist Convention. I don't know if you keep up with them, but
Yeah.
they just met up for their convention in Orlando and voted on that for their like a constitutional amendment thing. So it's still like I feel like it's not that big of an issue though. Like it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's scriptural, like logical arguments from both
Right.
sides, but
Right.
at the same time, there's like, I mean, we could be helping people instead of doing,
Right.
fighting over little tiny doctrine things like this that I feel like don't really matter all that much.
Right. My feeling is that if you can bring something to the table that can help somebody else,
Mm.
like my story, because I hope that whoever hears this is going to take what I've been through and not so much cry for me or have pity for me for the things that I've been through, but I hope it helps them perform.
I'm sure it will because that's the best thing about this podcast is encouraging people. It's definitely
Yes.
helping people a lot. So I've enjoyed listening to people, and I'm excited to hear more about your story. So you told me about like you were a kid, you were going to church and doing all the things, but then you started getting pulled away. So what was that like when you started getting pulled away, and how did your life change there?
Um, it was when I was in high school. Of course, that peer pressure, mighty powerful thing when you're young.
Hmm.
Um, get into a pot, drinking, or um, just doing all things bad.
Mhm.
Like, I think even my first physical relationship with I was 17. So that's part of the stuff that pulled me away. Like I started getting into stuff like that and hanging full that just pulled me away from where I needed to be with God.
So, what mer what happened after, like, high school at the times? Like, when did you start, like I guess, like, before you came to Christ, all that stuff?
Oh, it's this you want me to just my story?
Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, of course, you know, dating different people growing up and to be like as a female, I was more of a people pleaser. So whatever they needed me to do is what I would be for them.
Mm,
Um, I um, I got married when I was 20 years old. My husband and I ended up going to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which was good in a way, but was kind of bad because it got me away from my family
mhm.
to where I can live for myself and grow up a little bit to find out who I was as a person. Because
Yeah,
growing up, having a sister is 2 years old, you know, it was just like I lived in her shadow. Sure that. So I was able to be Sherry.
mm,
I wasn't having to be Tammy's sister. People knew me for me, and I kind of grew in a sense to where I didn't have to rely on family to back me up. I
yeah,
had to have my own back, right?
right.
Or so I thought, and that's I still wasn't back into my faith yet. But my husband was an alcoholic. Um, I was with for um then he one night I went out with a friend and went to a club, of course, drinking, partying. Came at home. He decided that he wanted to accuse me of going out and cheating on him. So I was as faithful to him as anybody could be. Like I was his little puppy, his little
Mhm,
lap dog. Um, but he accused me of cheating on him, and it just something broke inside of me, and I just snapped. So I started anything in my path, my sandwich that I had in my hand, I threw it at him. Threw it at him. Candlesticks. I threw my shoes. I threw. Um, I got to him and I stopped. Something just stopped me, and I was like, you know what? This is worth it. And next thing I know, he stands up because of I threw a sandwich at him and kind of had a bunch of sandwich stuff on his face, and uh, shoved me, hit the ground, and I lost my breath, and I crawled in the closet and prayed, God help me, God help me, God help me. Then as soon as I came out of the closet, I was just like, okay, this is it. I can't be in. So that was God trying to pull me out of something that wasn't good for me. I
yeah,
know that. Now I know that. Then I didn't know. But I ended up getting divorced. By the time I was 24, I was 25, I was divorced. Um or I had separated from him. I had left him. We didn't get divorced until later that. But
mhm,
um then after that, I was just dating guy after guy after guy. Um I ended up moving from Fort Lauderdale up to West Palm. Um Partying. I ended up quitting smoking pot, but I still drank because, I figure, "Hey, why give up? I gotta give up the illegal. I don't want to." that anymore. Let's stay with the legal ones. So went out to the clubs, party, 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 and I met a guy, a mutual friend of mine, went out for drinks one night because like, let's just go out, have a good time, um, sit around, listen to music. I was like, okay. So went to the bar. And back then I could hold liquor, so it was just like I was shots of tequila,
Yeah.
mixed drinks, stuff like that. So I was working on a shot of tequila. Like, okay, well, let me go to the restroom real quick. And I went to the restroom because I only have one. Come back. I had a fresh drink waiting for me. And like, okay, started drinking it. After that, I don't remember anything.
Mhm.
I woke up at home. That happened. He was like calling me, oh, I had the best time with you. Come to find out he date raped me.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, I ended up after that because I cut all communication with him, his brother, majority of the friends that mutual friends that we hung out with. Um, but it was every 6 months or every time that the blood mobile will come to my job and offer to give blood, it was days or every 2 to 3 months or whenever they would come, I would donate blood. And the only reason why I would donate blood, not to help anybody else out, but because
Mm.
whenever you get blood.
Yeah.
So I did that for about like 6 years. And I don't recommend that for anybody because um that's just crazy. My mind to think now actually had to go through that because I didn't really I knew him, but I didn't know him. I didn't know who and for him to do that to me, who knows how many other girls that he done that to. Yes. And then have to turn around, give blood, donate blood just to get an AIDS test. That lifestyle was definitely not for me. So I kind of relaxed a little bit on the drinking. Um, I think I don't remember if I put this in my testimony or not, but there was a time that I lived with a married couple. Married couple had a relationship for a little bit there, um, and that was definitely um, miscue on my judgment. I never should have done that at all because
Yeah.
that's like a big regret of mine.
Yeah, I had a similar situation, and I don't care what anybody says. Like polyamorous relationships, like
Yes.
it never works out. It's not good. It's not what. It's definitely not what God intended for marriage to be, and it just
No.
causes pain and suffering for
It
everybody involved. I feel like.
I ended up, after that relationship started coming to a head and a boil, I mean, because it boiled to where, the husband had put his hands on me and put his wife.
Mhm.
I ended up moving to Lakeland, Florida, staying with my cousin for a little while, and then I ended up going to, working for Lowe's. And while I was working at Lowe's, I met this what I thought was a great guy. I mean, he was one of the managers there. He was a dressed really nice, drove a car, and he seemed so interested in me. So we started dating.
Mhm.
Um, went out to eat, doing fun things outside of his house, of course, drinking. Um, and I was with him for about like 5 years. We went to Vegas, went to all kinds of baseball games, Atlanta Braves games, and concerts, did a lot of concerts with um, at the end of our relationship, I happened to be laying in bed one night. Something had told and it's funny how God it interrupts your life.
Mhm.
And I say that because every time I find myself in a situation, God comes to rescue me, and that's God's interruptions to me are so I'm so thankful for them because I just laid down in bed. I never, ever, ever had to get up to go to the restroom, but this night I did. So I get up to go to the restroom, and I heard the guy come into the room, and I just kind of peek after I didn't flush the toilet yet or anything, but I peek around the corner, and he's standing on my side of the bed with a knife, and he was drunk.
Mm.
So that scared the daylights. I hid in the bathroom for the longest time until I heard him leave. I ended up locking him out of the bedroom.
Mm.
And after that night, I slept in another room. He apologized, apologized, apologized. I ended up coming back up here to visit my mom for Mother's Day. And I told my mom what had happened. And I told her, I said, I am so ready to come home. Can I come home? She said, as long as I have a house and a roof, you are welcome. So I ended up leaving him. He was like, I wanted to marry you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no. I ended up moving back home. Um, And then I started after I came up here, I started dating a guy that I knew from high school. Um, and he was one of the guys that all the girls when we were growing up, they wanted to be with him. They wanted to be the girl that he was with. They wanted to be her, kind of like that Jesse's girl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so um I was like, I finally got it. I finally got it. Um, we ended up moving in together. Y you know, I used to be all about, "Hey, let's live together before you get together, blah, blah, blah." No, I don't wanna do that no more to anybody.
Mhm.
Not with anybody. I don't care who you are. I am not living with you before I get married again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing it. Um, but yeah, I thought he was the greatest thing. We hung out again. We drank a lot. Um We would do parties, hang out by the pool, go to the creek, um, swim in the creek for a little bit. I ended up switching jobs because I worked at the same Publix that me and you worked at before,
Mhm.
and I ended up quitting and going to work for Dollar General. And as soon as I moved in with him, I came home from work one night after I closed down the store, and I couldn't get in the house, and I was on, so as he had the door locked. "Can you let me in?" So me in. And come to find out he was crack. I knew that he had had a problem before, but he said he was fine, 9 yards. Um, I got tired of watching him, like, do this to himself, so I was like, "Okay, well, let me get him to let me try it, and then he'll see me doing it, and he'll be like, 'What am I doing to this girl?' and just stop altogether."
Mhm.
Right? Yeah, that doesn't happen. And I'm telling you right now, if anybody puts that to you, not do it because it's gonna grab a hold of you like nobody's business.
Mhm.
Um, 'Cause it grabbed a hold of me that first time. I did it for 6 months. Like the dealer would come into Dollar General and I would do some shady things to help pay off debts.
Mm.
Um, and I'm lucky that I didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
Because I could have went to jail, in all honesty, for some of the things that I did. They caught me on camera. The cops did buying, had me on camera actually buying,
Mhm.
and well, but when the guy found out that I lost my job for doing some of the things to help keep him in his, and or keep us in our habit, um, he was like, left me there by myself. Um, I had family members calling, reaching out to me, trying to find out what was wrong with me because I just cut everybody off. Mama, she called me. I called myself. I was just like crying because he just left me by myself, deal with the fallout. I ended up moving out after that. My aunt and mom come and help me move all my stuff back to my house, and her my sister came up. I ended up getting so drunk one night that she called the county police on me. They came out to the house with an ambulance, because I needed a high, and I wasn't getting the high that I was getting before.
Yeah.
So, I ended up drinking a kilo bu and they thought that I was trying to kill myself. They wanted to put me in rehab. Um, they forced me to go to Phoebe, and then I got in there, I sobered up, I refused treatment. I ended up trying to call them to come and pick me up. Nobody answered the phone, so I ended up having to take a $30 taxi cab ride
Mm.
to back to my mom's house. Um, the next night, I was just so, so tired of being the person that I was, being treated the way that I was, by family and by not trusting me, stuff like that. I called my mom and, "Can you I want you to take." So we ended up going back to Phoebe because I took a pill that, my sister took for migraine, took a pill. Um, they admitted me to rehab
Mhm.
or detox. Um, and my sister had told the lady that I drank a fifth
Mm.
of, tequila, and they automatically thought that I was a raging alcoholic. So whenever they put me in there and they were giving me medication to help calm me
Mhm.
and make sure that I was getting what I needed to get calm down, they gave me an alcoholic drug, and the doctor said she's going to be sleeping this off.
Mm.
If they would have gave me another dose, it could have killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm lucky that the doctor actually talked to me
Mhm.
instead of going off of what everybody else was telling her, because, yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
But I spent a whole 5 days in detox. The first night, I didn't wanna be there. I was like I called mama the next. I was like, "I can't do this," and I was crying, like, "Mama, please, you have to come.
Mhm.
I can't do this." Um, "You can just try it for a couple more days. Stick it out, stick it out." I was like, "Okay." So, the longer you're in there, the more things you have to do, activities with groups and stuff like that. We have
Yeah.
groups. You have to talk to psychologists, you have to talk to therapists, and they had an NA meeting, um, and they kept talking about, your higher power, to listen to your higher power. I was talking about.
Mm.
So, God, and they did a serenity prayer at the end. So it was just like, that was a light switch. I was like, "Hey." They would give you stuff to read. Started reading while I was in there because I didn't have anything.
Yeah.
The little group sessions that they have, or I read about higher power they kept talking about, and I was just like, "Okay, hey." And whenever I got out, I told my mom, I said, "I wanna try to go to church." And I was doing a, outpatient rehab at that time, to where I could go to work, go home every day. I wouldn't have to stay in one place. I would still have to call into the place, and if they called my caller, I would have to go pee in a cup just to make sure that I wasn't doing any kind of illegal activity anymore. Um, but I started, trying to go to different churches and find this church, that church. It was just like I had one guy come up to me, didn't know me from anybody. It was at the end of the service, and I felt something reach out to me while he was preaching. But then he kinda threw me off at the end when he came up to me. He had oil on his hand. He just stood up on my head and started praying, and I was like, "Okay, this is kinda weird for me,"
Mm,
because 'cause I'd never had that happen before. And then, that was the last time that I went to that church, but then I started talking to, after I got rehired at Publix, I started talking to, this guy at Publix about he's a preacher, and I told him my story about the drugs, alcoholism, my ex-husband and all that good stuff, and he reached out to me like, "Yeah, I'm glad you told me your story. Glad that you're in a better place now." He was like, "You need to come to my church." I went to his church, and I actually got something from it. Um, I ended up going there for the longest time until they eventually shut down, and he had moved to Texas. But the guy that I talked to, he actually lived together for a little bit, probably about 6 months, and then which you know him, Archie.
mhm,
Um, little did I know that he's not really Mr. Perfect either, um, than what I thought he was.
mm,
Um, but the more that he I communicated, we went to Mount Zion Church a couple of times. I got a lot of Mount Zion. Um, then we started going to the point when it was Rock Creek Point,
mhm.
and that's where I met you guys.
Yeah.
Um, but we were going there for the longest time. He was, yes, the what do they call it? A minister. Okay, he was like he's from finally. I think the more that I attend, like the more I could just so full, so full of God,
Mm,
so full of spirit. Like I was a whole person that I had time. And then what should have pulled me away really didn't. It kind of brought me closer to um my husband ended up cheating on me with a girl that I worked with at Publix and thought that she was a friend of mine, but
mhm.
friendships run not deep with her. Um but that I feel like that should have if that was gonna pull me away, that should have pulled me away again. But it didn't. It brought me closer to God because I threw myself into it.
Yeah.
Like when we broke away from the point and created new horizons, you guys letting me lead, that just I have never felt closer to God and so full of my faith than I do now from just being a part of you guys.
Mhm,
It's just like y'all brought something out of me. I know it was God, but
mhm.
y'all helped. Y'all brought something out of me that it was just like it had been buried for so long. And it was just like I felt so free. And I still feel free.
Good.
Yes. Okay, that's my story.
I like how you mentioned that whenever you came back that you saw someone like you saw yourself like someone you hadn't seen in a long time.
Yes.
And I hear from a lot of people that are kind of on the fence about God and Christianity and stuff like that, and they think that they don't want I don't want to change, I want to change, and they're not talking about their behaviors and stuff like that. Sometimes they want to change their behaviors, but they feel like something they're going to change, going to be a whole another person. And in a way, you kind of are, but at the same time, I feel like you're more yourself. Like you're more of who you were supposed to be. You
Yes.
felt like you you discover these things that God had made about you, these gifts about you, and like whenever you started leading some scripture and getting diving deeper into it, He revealed that about you, about your gifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like That's very encouraging, for people to hear that, God, God does change you, but it's not in the way that you think. He doesn't make you completely different, like boring person or something. Like
Right, right.
he makes you more yourself, more who you're supposed to be.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I'm even though I'm back into my faith and stuff, I'm not perfect by any means. I do stumble. The occasional bad word do that it does come out from time to time.
Yeah.
Um, I still have that little bit of like if I go out to a Mexican restaurant, yeah, I just want one margarita. I mean, I do stumble. Everybody stumbles.
Mhm.
And like you've seen me at work, I run around with like a chicken with my head cut off from time to time. Hey, how you doing? And I'm still running.
Mhm.
Um, and I get and sometimes I let people there get me to that point to where um on the verge of exploding
Yeah.
to let I what I like to call word vomit come out
Mhm.
to where I'm almost at a point that I'm fixing to attack.
Mhm.
And then it was just like somebody would come in. Still to this day it happens. Amanda and Billy would come in or Marie and Matt would come
Yeah.
in. Ben would come in. And I'm like, God, I know that's only you
Yep.
because I'm at that point, but yet you send somebody that I'm close, like my brother and sister in faith.
Mhm.
You're sending them in at the right time because I'm just like, I'm ready to pop. And I see them and it is automatic cool down,
Yeah. I
right?
I remember one time you told me that that happened whenever I came for like a pickup or something,
Yes,
and then we talked
yes.
for a little bit, and then it's cool how God just like he'll move in somebody about, hey, go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
All right, guess I'll go to the grocery store, and then stuff like that happens, and it's cool how God works that way, and kind of that's probably one of my favorite things about um, God is that He connects us all with His Holy Spirit. We kind of, we haven't talked to each other, or we don't talk to each other for a while. We don't see each other for a while, but still,
Right.
God's moving us in the same direction, closer to Him, and we help each other
Absolutely.
out.
Absolutely. And like the church that me and my mom go to now, Westover community,
Hmm.
um, it's a lot of older people. But I guess my mom, she wanted to be able to connect with not only just the people, but she wanted to connect spiritually the whole she wants the whole realm. And I tell you, you surprised, you know how my mom she come in with her phone and just do this when we would have church on Sunday nights.
Hmm.
She would kind of be into it a little bit, but she now, honey, she reads the Bible. That's amazing to me. She'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, "Mom, what are you doing?" I started reading my Bible. I was like, "That's great."
Yep,
I mean,
that's awesome.
yes, that's amazing to me because, like, I can remember this woman telling me one night, and it's hilarious to me to think of it now. But she told me one night because when I started coming back into my faith, and she wasn't quite there. I was like, "You just not used to F word around me. This is my house, and I can say F F F F F all I want to." And I'm like, "Okay, cut that down and let that go." But now she's a completely different person. And if I let something slip, boy, she'll let me have it.
Hmm.
I know you live here and you do help, with the bills. Can you not say that? Or can you not even mention if you just do the letter? Please don't do that. Okay, mom. I got you. And that's just God working through her on me.
Yeah,
And I know it.
that's the light He puts in us, because that light exposes the darkness in us, and sometimes
Mhm.
it hurts a little bit, and it's kind of blinding. But then once you're used to it, your eyes adjust, and you're
Oh,
able to
yeah.
see more clearly. I like that she's reading the word more too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
And it was crazy because, she just recently had an eye appointment with a retinal,
Hmm.
person because they found a little freckle on her eye. They thought it was maybe something to do with melanoma,
Okay,
but, it turned out it wasn't. It was minute according to the doctor, and he couldn't find it the
cool,
second time around, so but
nice.
they knew it was there. So she was sitting in I'm playing with that little bubble witch, you shoot the bubbles up on the
Yeah,
tablet.
yeah.
Yeah, I was playing that on my tablet,
Love that
and
game.
yeah, and she was over there. I look over at her. She's got her Bible open. She's just sitting there reading her Bible. Go, ma. Okay, here.
Yep.
So I mean, she's actually where I was a positive influence on her, getting her back into church. Trying to bring her a little bit closer. Now she's being a positive influence on me, keeping me in my faith instead of trying to let me
Mhm.
kinda go on the wayside from time to time.
Right.
But yeah, it's just amazing how God has worked in both of our lives.
Yeah. How is God working, like, or what's he teaching you lately?
Um, it's funny because I do get ink on me. My little every tattoo that I get is meaning to me, and I
Mhm.
got the one anchor over here with Hebrews 6:19, and basically what that says is, in a nutshell, your hope is supposed to be your anchor,
Mhm.
and to me, and it's all perception and how you perceive stuff, what you read and stuff. To me, that means that God is supposed to be my hope,
Mhm.
so God is my anchor. But I'm gonna get another tattoo here soon, and um it's gonna be a cross, and I always say, and it's so funny how, God works and speaks to you. I always say that Proverbs, I think it's 3, 5, 6,
Mhm.
in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will set your path straight.
Yeah.
Okay, that's always been any time that I'm having trouble with something that pops up somewhere. Whether it be my preacher saying it, whether it
Mhm.
not be something I come across, um, if Facebook will throw it up at me,
It's
my
funny.
phone
It's
like a
funny
little
you say that
widget.
because that was my cousin Brandon was on the not last episode, but the episode before that, and that was his favorite verse, and he talked about that verse too.
Oh
So that's
yeah,
that's a really good one for
oh
sure.
yeah, definitely. But I came across one. I'm gonna end up getting another cross, or getting a cross put on, and I'm not gonna have the whole verse on there. I'm just gonna put the verse, like Proverbs 6:13. I
Hmm.
mean, sorry, Proverbs 16:33. It says, God says, "It's not by chance that you have come this far. It's me who carried you every step of the way." And to me, if I always said that my life verse was the Proverbs 3:5, 6.
Hmm.
But for me to have come across that in this part of my faith and my journey in my faith, for it's me who carried you every step of the way. It's only been God.
Hmm.
They thought that I was killing myself doing drugs. I was like 80 pounds going into detox. Um, I was a walking skeleton. I almost killed myself doing that. Um, when my father passed away, I was drinking, going to bars, drinking with my friends. I had a 5-speed Mustang at the time.
Hmm.
I was trying to run into a pole, but it was just like I stopped every time. And I know it was God
Yeah.
that and he kept me alive for a reason. And this is one of those reasons to help, you know, tell people what I've been through.
Hmm.
Tell people, it's okay to have those bad moments. God's going to pull you out every time. You may and there was one good thing that Archie used to tell me. He would tell me, God has his path set for you. He knows what you're going to do before you do it. You can always take that detour, and you're going to do bad. He knows you're going to do bad, but he's going to make you detour back to the road that he designed for you.
Yeah.
So that's one great thing that I got from that. Um, yeah.
I remember whenever I'd fallen away a long time ago, one of my friends met up with me. We were just hanging out and talking or whatever, and he was like, I know you're going through a lot, and you don't believe anymore, but I want you to know that God still got you. And I was kind of like angry at the time, or like irritated a little bit because I just didn't want to have anything to do with it. But then
Yeah.
it's true though, because like whenever you if you truly accepted Christ in your heart, even if you fall away massively,
Oh,
you're still there. You're still in His hand.
yes,
Not
absolutely.
it says nothing can separate us from the love of God, and that includes our sin. Like if He's forgiven you and you've accepted Him as Lord, even if you fall away, you're still there. He's going to bring you back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the greatest thing about God. No matter what you do, if and come as you can only get to me through my son.
Hmm.
But if you look at it as Holy Spirit, God, Father, Son,
Hmm.
it's on one person. What was the flesh became wait, no,
The Word became flesh.
the word became
Yeah.
flesh.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's just it doesn't matter. It's he's always gonna be there for you.
Yep.
I mean you can like be at the worst part of your life and you could think that you're at that point to where you're gonna just end it and you turn around and there's this whole nother side
Hmm.
and that's nothing but God.
Yep. Still,
They
He's
yeah
still
you
there. He's
yeah
always there. Even when,
you always have that bad on your shoulder, you got that good on your shoulder. The good's always gonna outweigh the bad.
and
I mean I'm
he'll
living proof.
yeah, he'll let you go. He'll let you go through the bad too. It's not like he'll just rescue you from every single situation. He's gonna use those situations to bring about good, bring about His glory, and also your good. So,
Yes. Yes, definitely.
so I did have a question for you. So, how do you? How is God working on you to like? You've been through a lot of bad experiences with men, particularly, and
Yeah.
that's a thing that a lot of women struggle with. There's a lot of abuse that happens and stuff like that. So how do you relate that with your relationship with God?
Um, I let because I there would be like I know you've seen a lot of the girls at work,
Mhm.
they tend to gravitate towards me, the younger girls.
Yeah.
I treat them like mama, but I don't treat them like mama. I mean, I
Hmm.
don't have kids of my own, but I just let them know, hey, if any way, shape, or need something, please by all means come to me.
Yeah.
And I let God work through help them. Like if they're going through something at school with their boyfriend, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but let me tell you what happened to me and what God did for me
Hmm.
so that maybe this can help you. Not a 10 that come.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
save lives doing that.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, cat's coming up exploring. That's that stray one that I was telling you, or
Yeah.
that you might have seen on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I might try to pawn off a kitten on you
Oh
before I
yeah.
leave, so I'm just gonna
No.
let you know.
No,
You got to look at them
we
though.
got we got kittens outside the house right now, and I
Yeah,
told mama I said we're running the underground kitten railroad.
yeah. We this one, that one right there is the stray neighborhood cat that just hangs around and everything. And then I was had the garage open because me and the boys were working in the yard, and then she just pulls up and like hops in a box and starts having babies. So I'm like, okay,
Oh
well, I've been chosen by the cat distribution network, so now I
yeah.
gotta figure this out. So if anyone's listening to this, if you want a kitten in a few weeks, let me know. I got two. I got a gray one, female, and a gray one that's a male that's available. They're cute. But yeah. Anyway, so you struggled a lot with addiction
Oh
and
yeah.
substance, and that's a huge issue now,
Mhm.
especially in this area. There's a lot of people that struggle with it, and there's
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
people in the nation trying to cope with all the terrible things that are happening. I hear the news say like, "Oh, things are better than they've ever been."
No, it's not.
Not for regular people. No, a lot of
No,
people
it's
are
not.
struggling with the high prices and their family problems and everything else. And a lot of the times they turn to drugs and alcohol. So
Yeah.
you could say to anybody listening right now that is struggling with addiction and alcohol, what would you say to them?
Um, I would say listen not so much to your conscience, listen to what they call the higher power in the me.
Hmm.
Okay, I've never been to an NA meeting except for when I was in detox.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say just listen to that higher power that's talking to you. If you're having like your coping mechanism is you feel like it's failing you, it's not.
Mm.
That's God trying to pull you out. Um, it took me a minute to realize that because I could have easily went back to it because when I say the struggle was real when I got out, it was real.
Hmm.
But just it's not your conscience trying to talk to you and tell you not to do this. It's God. He's trying to pull you out. And I say, um, if you're really struggling with something, by all means, I'm on Facebook. Reach out to me, message me. You don't have to put it on my page. Reach out to me. I will happily. There's multiple people that I have talked to that has had addiction. People that I've worked with that was going through addictions.
Hmm.
Um, I just sat down and just talked to God. Just but try to bring yourself out of it. And please, I tell you, seek help.
Yeah. That's it.
Definitely.
Well, I'm studying for to be a counselor now. We talked about recently, like the last week or so, about addiction stuff and about how um, AA was formed and like
Mhm,
the there's like faith groups that started after prohibition ended,
mhm,
and they met together and they were trying to help people that were struggling with alcohol abuse, drugs and stuff. And that's what that common thing that AA has now about the higher power came from Christian people that were praying and surrendering their life to Christ, and that's
right.
what. And they tried everything else to get done or be done with addiction, but that's what got them belief in Christ and or belief in a higher power for a lot of people. But that kind of idea of connecting with God is what brings about that peace and helps you in that struggle.
Oh yeah, definitely. I tell you, if I hadn't come out the way I did, I would probably be still struggling with. I would. And not everything you think is an addiction is an addiction.
Hmm.
Um, you have a eating a disorder. I learned that that's an addiction. I only learned that through my therapist when I do rehab.
Yeah.
Um, and I had an eating disorder. That was my first.
Mm.
I was overweight, pleasantly plump, um, and my family member, my sister, and all they used to call me Porky. So I stopped eating. Like my mom would be like, "Cook dinner for me," blah blah blah. Blah. So I would cook dinner, and I would feed my portion to the dogs outside before she got home. Did you eat? Yeah, I ate.
Mhm.
I would lie to her and tell her that I ate, but I really didn't. But yeah,
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 it's not always just drugs or alcohol. There's
mm.
definitely a lot of things that people are addicted to, like their devices and screens and or people,
Oh
um,
yeah,
sex, all kinds of.
oh
There,
yeah,
that's a common like pathway of sin and uh, destruction that really corrupts us, harms us a lot. And I think people don't really think about it that way. They just see the people that are struggling with alcohol and drugs on the street and stuff like that. And man, I'm glad I'm not like them. And then they just go and scroll on their phone for 17 hours straight,
oh yeah,
or whatever. Like God's taught me a lot over the years of working with people that are struggling and then having my own struggles in general. That I'm no better than other people. Like
right.
everybody can fall. Like there are all kinds of people in the Bible, like David, man after God's own heart, fell hard and destroyed his family because of it. But God still used him to bring about good.
Oh yeah,
Um, I was talking to my family the other day, like David cheated with Bathsheba, had an affair with her. That was wrong. And, he killed her husband, and all that chaos from that destroyed his family. But also, God, through Bathsheba, gave birth to Solomon, who eventually was, or gave, he was an ancestor of Christ. So because of that, if that bad thing didn't happen, God didn't use it, and then Christ wouldn't be. So he still uses the bad stuff that we go through. He uses our addictions, our pain, and the the trauma that we've been through to help others and to heal others and to heal ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Well, we're running up on the end of our time. So, is there anything
Okay.
else that you'd like to share before we hop off?
Um, just definitely, guys. And if you want to reach out to me, Joseph knows how to get in touch with me at all
Hmm.
times. Um, find me on Facebook. I am here to share with you guys. I'm here to listen. I can if I can't find an answer for you, I definitely know people that can. And
Yeah,
God, please, if you're stuck in that place that I was, please reach out to me.
yeah. And I'll anybody who wants to, in the description on the feedback form, you can fill that out, and I can get you in contact with Sherry if you want to, or you can find us on Facebook. She's a follower on the page on Facebook. You can find her through there too. But also, you can reach out to me as well. So I'd be happy to help too. There's definitely, if you feel alone, there's definitely somebody out there. It might not be me or Sherry that you want to talk to, but definitely find somebody to talk to and help you with that, because nobody should have to go through that alone.
Right, exactly.
And there's I mean, you've heard Gage, you've heard Sherry, you've heard my testimony. If you've listened to the podcast so far, addiction's a real struggle, but God can get you through it. He can get you out of it and save you from it for sure. Well, Sherry, I appreciate you being on. I've enjoyed this. I love hearing your story, and it's
I
very encouraging to me, and I'm sure it's encouraging to other people.
I enjoyed being here. It was very painless.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
it's very
definitely.
easy. So if
Yeah.
anybody else wants to be on here, please hop on here. It's very, very chill. So you can ask Sherry.
Yeah.
But is there anything that me or the listeners could pray for you?
Um, actually, just pray for good vibes. Because
Mhm.
I always say things happen for a reason, and it's God's reason for them happening. So I'm pretty happy with, you know, God's got me in this place and keeping me where I'm at right now for a reason. It's
Mhm.
got to be. So just vibes.
Sounds good. All right. Well, I'll close this in prayer. Father God, I thank you so much for this day, Lord. I thank you for bringing Sherry here to be on the podcast. I thank you so much for all that you've done in her life, all the for rescuing her so many times and helping her to overcome addiction and abuse and the things that she's gone through, Lord. I pray that her testimony is an encouragement to those that are listening to the podcast, Lord. I pray that they would be filled with your spirit, Lord, and that you would help them to overcome the problems that they may be having. So, God, I pray that everything that we do today and for the rest of our lives, Lord, I pray that we do it to glorify you, and that we can reach people with our testimonies and bring your light and love into their lives. And I pray. Amen. All right. Thank you all for listening. Again, you can scroll down to the bottom to the description, see our feedback form if you want to share about how this testimony encouraged you. Also, I'd love to have you on the podcast. There's another link in there for the forum. It's very easy to do. It's very fun. I think it'll be encouraging to you, and I believe that God ministers to the guests here, and then to me as well for sure, and then also to those of you who are listening. So just remember to give God glory in everything that you do, and I hope that you all have a great week.